TechKnowBabble. Know your technology better than it knows you.
So, for the last 6 years or so, I've been bearing a love-hate relationship towards Apple. I absolutely love the design style, but I hate the insanely high price tag for the quality of hardware that I get. Buying an Apple computer, to me, is like buying a Rolls Royce for 10 times more money when a Mercedes exists. But I get it, people want what they want. Then you have the scandals and deceptions coming from Apple, which I'll get to a little bit later. The fact is, we really do need Apple. Sort of. Okay, here's my theory. Computers are not easy, and knowing all of it isn't for the sake of knowing it or being smart, but for the sake of being able to troubleshoot something if anything goes wrong. If computers were easy, there would be more than 2 main CPU manufacturers, which are Intel and AMD. The fact is, the deeper you delve into computers and how they work, the more knowledge you'll need to understand it all. Want to build a computer to save money? Deeper down the knowledge rabbit hole you must go. And for people who have way more important things in life to deal with, or they have no interest in this at all, they just want it to work. As long as they can pull up their favorite YouTube video or podcast after a long day's work, like and subscribe by the way. For those people, Apple computers. You see, the consumer world should not be seen as Apple versus Windows versus Linux. Yes, we're going to mention Linux here too, but as Apple or Windows or Linux. In the entry level, there's Apple. Simple, easy to use, not so many choices. There's even a human being you can take your computer to if you have any problems.
I'm a genius.
But Apple has actually spent the last decade hiding folders, disabling features, and shifting control of their computers from you. Now, if you don't care or didn't notice, you probably bought the right computer. Unfortunately, the control that you give up can and will be used against you. Next level up, you have Windows. A bit more difficult to use and filled with bloatware, and if you have any problems, you'd better hope you have a friend who knows how to fix it. Now that friend probably built his own computer for a fraction of the price it cost to buy that Mac. But he also spent way more time tweaking and removing bloatware from his system, while you on the Mac just had to push one button and get an enjoyable experience. But after all that tweaking is done, they essentially have a computer that responds to their demands and works exactly how they want. And the last level is Linux, which is the most advanced of all the levels. Your only hope when you need help with Linux are forums, and you had better get ready to be insulted, told to try something else, or wait a while for a solution. But with a little patience and honestly a little bit of luck, you can walk away with something so yours that not even Apple could take it from you. And all for free. Yeah, I know technically Apple's operating system is also free, but you have to buy a computer first. You're not allowed to run it on any other hardware. You can make it look like a Mac, you can make it look like a PC. You could even run Mac or PC inside of it. I mean, Linux is so powerful, over 90% of the servers in the world that run your favorite streaming site, game sites, and more, all run on Linux. Hell, even Android is loosely based on Linux. Linux runs so lightweight and fast that you could pull out that 5-year-old computer or laptop, dust it off, and have it running like new. Everything runs faster in Linux. But learning it is not easy, just take it from me. But if you do take the time to learn it, it can be so worth it, especially just for the speed increases. So, in summation, Apple is like a protected village. Life is simple and easy. You want for nothing, you need nothing. There isn't mass sickness, and everyone for the most part is happy. But there may be ritual sacrifices and other weird stuff going on. And one day you see a plane, and now you want to fly. That's Windows. Now you're traveling the world, Paris, China, New York. You're seeing everything. Now you're gonna have to learn how to fly a plane to get the best experience, or you could pay someone a lot of money to fly for you. But now you can see the world. Admittedly, flying is way more dangerous than staying on the ground in your safe little village. If you don't get sacrificed, that is. I mean, once you begin to fly around the world, you can get robbed or kidnapped and held for ransom, or your plane could crash. But as long as you're careful and actually know what you're doing, you can see the world very safely. In my years of using computers, I have never gotten a virus, knock on wood. Now for some, those risks are worth it in exchange for getting to see the world. And last but not least, we have Linux, which is, like a friend said to me once, Linux is penguins building spaceships in their basement without a manual. Just be sure not to fly too close to the sun because you will get burned. With Linux, you can see space, nebulas, black holes. It will be a slow and arduous trek into the unknown, but if successful, you have command of a spaceship as powerful as your imagination demands. Yes, you could be pulled into the vacuum of space and die, but luckily, you're not really in space. You can just wipe the hard drive and start over again until you get it right. Just like I did. So, computers have levels to them and shouldn't be pitted against each other like a warring faction. The fact is, we need Apple. If not for the simple fact that not everyone wants to read a huge manual when they buy a computer. Apple just makes sense for some people. It makes their lives easier. Why do you need Apple? Leave your answers in the comments below. Hi, thanks for watching my video. I plan to make more videos in the upcoming months about technology and just computers in general. I build computers right now, and I have a server, and I have the computer I edit on, and I plan on building another tiny little small form factor computer pretty soon as well. If you have any questions or anything you want to know, just post them in the comments below. Even if I can't answer them, I can send you videos that I've seen that helped me in the past. I currently use Windows and Linux, although mostly Windows because all my editing stuff is in Windows. But I'm trying to learn Linux because Linux is pretty powerful, but it's just a very steep learning curve. It's been difficult, to say the least, learning Linux. I chose Fedora as my Linux distribution, so if you have ever considered going into Linux, then you know there's distributions, but that's a video for another day. If you want to see more videos, like, subscribe, and welcome to TechKnowBabble.